Hey guys, Drifter here. This is my next to last first game series map thing. I don't know, I'm playing all the maps and showing my first game and honestly, legitimately how I play and what happened. The trailer that I watched for this map pack told me that this was supposed to be a long-range engagement sniper map, so I figured it would be best if I used my PSG-1, which I have a variable sight on. I'm using Ghost Pro, Scout Pro, which is really sweet because it allows you to swap weapons super fast. If you hear that little ring-jing-jingly in the background, that's Ozzy running around doing his dog stuff. And I can't remember if I had Marathon or Ninja. I'm just not entirely sure. It was one of those two. I really have no clue how this map is laid out, so you're going to see me look around and look at buildings and try and find ladders and kind of stumble and fumble and bumble. If you haven't downloaded the map packs, but you have downloaded them, well, plan to download them, this may help you kind of figure out what you can and can't do in the locations that are and aren't safe. About halfway into the game, I get a good feel of the map, and I'm kind of sick of getting butt hurt, so I break out my ACOG M16 and play a little bit more aggressively. I probably should have played more aggressively from the beginning, otherwise we might have won. We end up losing this one. I feel like I kill a lot of people, but I don't take a lot of domination points because I was trying to do the long-range support sniper thing. I think all of my teammates were playing Team Deathmatch, which is, if you play Team Deathmatch in domination, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose. But the gameplay isn't honestly all that exciting to talk about, so let's swap over to story time. I'm going to tell you the story of a high school party that I had. I would say this was my senior year of high school, and if you remember Janklin Jones from the Worms commentary, this was at his house. His parents moved out, but they let him stay in his house by himself his senior year of high school so that he wouldn't have to change high schools his senior year. He could just graduate where he went to school, which was very nice of them, and it left him with a pretty sweet, fucking hit markers, a pretty sweet situation where he was in complete control of his own house during senior year at high school. That guy raped me right there. He just had my number. But he decided to host a party one night, and I'm going to preface this little story by telling you that the night before, I had a dream that I was running down an alley, or just in the darkness, waving my hand wildly in the air while I had like a big detective cape, like Darkwing Duck, kind of flapping against my back like I just fell out of the Matrix or something. I can't remember anything else but just that one little part. But now let's move on to the story of this party. It was a very small party, kind of friends of friends things, a lot of guys, not a lot of girls. Lots and lots of alcohol. It was when they had the Domino's 555 deal, and it was completely unlimited. So I can't remember how many $5 bills we scrounged up, but we ended up getting a lot of pizza. We had pizza for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And my dad actually was the guy that helped us buy all the booze. What was his deal? He went and he bought us the booze, and in exchange we bought him a 6-pack or a 12-pack of Bud Light or something like that. And his instructions were, if any 40-year-old bitches show up, you better be sure to give me a call. Unfortunately, we didn't have any 40-year-old bitches. It was mostly young high school girls, friends of friends, that sort of thing. And the party was going pretty well, but what we didn't know is that we had 2 Indians at the party, 2 not Native American Indians, but from India Indians with very protective parents. One of them was in college, and the next day he was supposed to go out and his parents were going to buy him a new car and a new computer and all this sort of stuff. The other one was actually 3 years younger than us, so he was a freshman in high school, but he was very mature for his age, but his parents were very protective, so we had to lie about where he was going. We had one friend, I'm just going to use his online alias, Duke of Nasty. He lied to his parents, telling them that he went to Duke of Nasty's grandparents' house, and Duke of Nasty told his parents that he went to his grandparents' house, and then told his grandparents he went over to Janklin Jones's house, and it just ended up being a big mess. That's why I kind of like the situation with my dad better. I was just kind of like, hey Dad, I'm going to party, can you buy me some booze? He's like, alright, just, get some for me. And what ended up happening was the 2 Indians, they were friends, and the parents were having a meeting, and they wanted to go see their kids, wanted to give them something, so they went to Duke of Nasty's grandparents' house. He weren't there. Went to his parents' house. They weren't there. Come to find out that nobody really knew where they went until it was like 10, 11 o'clock that night, and the party was full swing. Everybody was drinking or drunk. We were playing DDR. The girls were finally loosening up toward what could have been success for some of the guys there. And yeah, one of the Indians, his name was Neil. He was getting really like sloppy drunk, like really kind of aggressive. We were starting to cock block a lot. We were getting pretty pissed off at him and trying to ass grab when he really shouldn't have. And the other one was doing fine. Everybody was having a great time. And then the the parents start calling. The Duke of Nasty's parents start calling, and then the Indian parents start calling. And it turns out really, really bad because their parents are very conservative. The Indian dude who's in college, his parents pay for his college, all this sort of thing. And he's toasted. We have to get him home soon, or the whole party's going to be busted, and he's going to be in deep shit. But he's just roasted. He is lit up, and he is totally drunk. So what we did is we tried to sober him up. Here, eat this bread, eat a hot dog. Come on, come on. Slap him in the face, make him pay attention. Here, drink this shot of energy, 5-hour energy, whatever. Here's a Red Bull. And for some reason, I don't know, it was probably one of the worst things I've ever done in my life. I convinced him that if he drank hot sauce, it would help him wake up. So we opened up a bottle of Tabasco sauce, which was about half full, and he drank the whole thing and managed to keep it down. And for a couple of minutes, it woke him up pretty good, but then it seemed to wear off. And we went to the gas station, got him another Red Bull or two, made him drink that. We're just going to load him up with caffeine. And what we were going to tell his parents is that he was playing Dance Dance Revolution at our house. Why is he so why is he so slurry and sweaty? Well, that's because Dance Dance Revolution is a very demanding game, and you have to hit those pads in order. Look at that, beautiful. Boom, boom, 1, 2, 4 total bullets, 2 total shots. Awesome. And it was one of the most bullshit stories I've ever come up with, but I had about 10 minutes to try and make this work. We rehearsed it over and over again, but he was totally drunk. So we're like, where were you? I was like, man, I was with these bitches, and no, you were Dance Dance. Yeah, that was Dance Dance, bitches. No, not Dance Dance, bitches, come on. And we finally got it. He was playing Dance Dance Revolution and all this sort of stuff. So I'm driving the car, which is a friend of mine's car, not mine that night. And I'm trying to take these 2 Indian kids home, and when I pull up outside their house, the 2 angry Indian mothers come outside. This is like if you was watching a Bollywood movie, we're talking they come out in the multicolored robes with the dots on their head, with the jewelry, with everything, like straight out of a stereotypical movie, yelling and screaming, talking in Hindi and Punjab and actually, they were both Hindi. I don't think there was any Punjab. No, I take that back. They were Punjab. They weren't speaking in Hindi. They were speaking in Punjabi and yelling and like, where has he been? Where has he been? Blah, blah, what are you doing? What have you done with my son? Blah, blah, blah. And I tried so hard. I was like, we were playing Dance Dance Revolution. I was like, no, he's been doing drugs. Have you been giving him drugs and alcohol? It's like, no, we haven't been doing any drugs. We were playing Dance Dance Revolution, and he got really tired. Like, no, you're a terrible friend. You're a terrible human being. Look what you do to him. He cannot even walk. You're an awful person, blah, blah, blah. How would you do this to somebody you call your friend? Blah, 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 blah. Now, you tell me one time, what has he been doing? And I tried again. It's like, I was playing Dance Dance Revolution. She's like, no, this Dance Revolution. Blah, blah. And I tell her, like, look, it's a game. We have these four little pedals, and when the, not 4 pedals, 4 spots on the pad, and when the numbers, arrows come up on the screen, you have to hit with your leg on the right and the left, and the right, left. And I was trying with the most bullshit, and I was trying to show her with my hands, my feet, and she's going, blah, blah, blah. He has been smoking, blah, 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 blah. And she got really mad and just called me a terrible person again and slammed the door. And I thought that was a pretty good time to just burn right the fuck out of there, burn a little rubber and get out of here. I don't know. Fucking rubber knife. I should have killed that guy. Ran off and left him, and then when I get back to the house, I found out that I missed a total shitstorm because Duke of Nasty's parents and the 2 Indian fathers showed up right in the middle of the party and just shit on everybody, screaming, mad, angry. Thankfully, we ordered so much pizza from Domino's, it actually covered up most of the bottles of vodka and other alcoholic beverages and such, so they saw almost none of that, but all the guys had to drive home, so I ended up driving home Duke of Nasty because he was too drunk to drive himself home. He was really angry, like, you're going to give me my keys, I'm driving myself home. Blah. I didn't even see this ghost guy in here at first. That's a pretty good sniping spot, but it's going to be pretty obvious pretty soon later on in the game. And he was really angry. I almost had to fight him for his car keys, but I did end up driving him home. And I knew that if I pulled him up at his house and had 2 car doors open, 2 car doors slammed, 1 person get out, that wouldn't be bad. So I pulled him up like 20 yards away from his house and swapped and just let him pull up into his driveway, and my God, he was so drunk. He just barely made it into the driveway, swerving all over the place, parked like shit. He told me the next day, as soon as he got home, he started arguing with his father, and his father was asking him where he's been, and he said he hadn't been drinking even because he ate like a whole box of Altoids. He couldn't tell from his breath, and his dad was all angry because they're very strict Catholics. Like, I saw you sitting on the couch kissing that girl, and Duke of Nasty's getting all angry. He's like, what do you mean to be gay? Do you mean to sit on a couch and kiss men? Because I can do that. And his father's like, well, I guess that's all right. Catholic father defeated. plus 9 experience right there. Hell, that's like plus 50 experience. That's a hell of a task. The rest of the night, that was a real bummer on the party, but I ended up trying to run across town to get there to drive the other people home in town before their drunk asses decided to drive themselves home, which would have been dangerous. And I just remembered that I was wearing my lucky orange long-sleeve shirt, but I had unbuttoned it because it was hot. So I was running down the street with my long orange shirt blowing in the wind like a cape while waving my right hand wildly in the air, dialing cell phone numbers identical to the dream that I had last night, which was very, very strange. I hope you enjoy the story and the commentary. Drifter out.